house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother Over the Top updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Janet Howard. What's up, girl? Hope you're enjoying this season, and if you guys want to be house guests today, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. We so appreciate the support. You're awesome. Alright, so yesterday they had the Power Veto competition, and it was called The Haunting of Clementine O'Grady. They didn't say it like that, but wouldn't that be fun? So if you want to hear more details about the competition, make sure you check out yesterday's spoiler where I kind of like spell everything out. But the short version, Danielle won. She kicked butt in this competition. She won by like 30 seconds or so. So it's a good week for her, HOH and POV. So a little while later, Alex and Shelby are chatting out on the hammock and they're like, what's Danielle gonna do? So they're wondering, is she gonna use it on Scott? So it's just her nominees up there, because before Danielle had been saying, whoever the America's nominee is, I'm going to take them off the block if I win the veto, because I just want my nominees up there. I don't want America's nom up there. But you know that she was saying that when she thought it was a possibility that somebody from the Late Night Jamboree was going to be up on the block. I'm thinking she's not feeling quite the same type of way with someone from the other side up there. So the girls agree, as long as Scott is still nominated, they're going to vote him out. We'll see. All right. So then Jason, Justin, and Chrissy are having a game chat in the have-not room, and they're all like, we need to freaking convince Danielle to use the veto on Whitney, because again, they're like, whoa, all week she's been saying she would use the veto on America's nominee, but that is Scott, and they don't want Scott to stay. They think that's stupid, so they're like, freaking America gave us this opportunity, we need to save Whitney, put up Morgan, and get rid of Scott. So then Justin reports his conversation that he had with Scott, and he's like, yeah, Scott confirmed to me that he and Alex made this deal with Danielle for this week to keep each other safe. And Justin's like, it really sounds like Danielle's going to use the veto on Scott. So Jason's like, well, if she wants to roll with them, she's going to lose all of us. So she better, you know, put a lot of thought behind this decision. So during this whole thing, Justin is really down because Whitney is his girl. So he's upset that she could still be in trouble this week. And Jason's like, let's not give up yet. You know, let me talk to Danielle, and we'll see if we can change her mind and get her to save Whitney. So Jason goes up to the HOH room to talk to Danielle. And Danielle pretty much initiates this game conversation. They were just talking about like whatever, and then she's like, I really hate that I'm going to have to go back on my word with Scott. So she is already seeing like, wow, I cannot use the veto on Scott. So Jason's like, yeah, it's the right thing to do. We got to use it on Whitney, and this would be a really good opportunity to scoop her up. You know, if we save her, she's kind of going to owe us. So she also sees now that she's on the bottom of her alliance, and she got really pissed off this week because people are willing to get rid of her. So he's saying we could really bust up the other side this week, scoop up Whitney, and then if we get rid of Scott also, Alex is going to be out in the open. She's just going to have Shelby and Morgan with her. So this is a really good move in Jason's eyes. And he's like, Danielle, we cannot let Alex and Scott run this game. Gross. So then Danielle agrees, like, yeah, I'm going to use the veto on Whitney, and I'm going to get rid of Scott. Oh, snap. Didn't take much convincing there. But like I said, she already was kind of like thinking they got to get rid of Scott. So then Whitney is in the have-not room with the Late Night Jamboree, minus Justin, and Danielle lets her know, I'm going to save you with the power of veto. So she doesn't hold back saying, like, your alliance threw you under the bus this week, because, you know, they got to get these wheels in motion here to pull Whitney in. They can't just save her and then have her go back to her side. They want to pull her in. So Whitney's like, yeah, I'll vote out whoever you guys want. I'll do what you want. It's all good. So then Danielle's saying she's going to put up Morgan as the replacement, but Scott is still the target. And Whitney's like, okay, sounds good. I'll pretend like I don't know what's going on. And she actually follows through with that. A few minutes later, she's talking to the Ball Smashers, and she totally lies to them. They're like, what do you think Danielle's going to do? And she says, well, I think that Danielle's going to keep the nominations the same. And all the girls are saying, okay, then we're going to vote out Scott. Would they, though? All right. We get a little break from the game last night. because Big Brother was like, what up? It's time for the Halloween party. So they put the house guest costumes in the storage room along with some wigs and some makeup. Gotta love it. And they gave them 2 hours to get ready for the party. So they're all getting dressed and everything. These are the costumes that they picked out of that little pumpkin like 2 weeks ago when Scott was HOH. So they're all getting ready, and Chrissy is so freaking upset, and she's crying because her creepy doll dress was too small. And I don't know if like something broke, like a latch or whatever broke. A latch, they don't, you know what I mean. One of those like hook and eye things, latch. So she was really upset about it, and she was also upset that she had to wear a sweater over her costume because she's got to cover up all of her tattoos. So then she was like, I don't even want to go to the party, like, I don't want to do this, and Jason is trying to encourage her, like, you're a have-not this week, if you go to this party, you're gonna get to eat real food, so just freaking, like, who cares, just wear one of your own dresses, it's whatever. I guess they told her she would be allowed to wear one of her own dresses if that one didn't fit, but she was like, no, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna wear this. So that's fine. And then Morgan, they gave her, like, this green wig and this green makeup to put on her face, and she was like, this is not cute. I don't want to do this. So she didn't even put on any freaking green witch makeup. You could have gone all wicked with it, but no. I don't know. No one really wanted to wear their wigs, which was unfortunate. But anyway, you know who really committed to their look? Shelby. She went full, like, candy skull, and it was cool. But anyway, the party begins. And Big Brother has given them tons of candy. They got Chinese food, sushi, Halloween cookies. It was a beautiful food spread. They also got some pumpkin ale, which they all said was gross. They got 1 bottle of wine and some pumpkin carving kits. Woo! So a few minutes into this party, the doorbell rings, and it's Liz! Liz Nolan from Big Brother 17. So she walks in, not wearing a costume, and she's like, what's up, guys? So, they give her some candy because she's trick-or-treating, and then she leaves. It was a very, very quick visit. Some people did not know who she was, which was really sad, but if they didn't know who Liz was, then they really didn't know who Lawan was. Lawan from Big Brother 13. He's hilarious. Jason was really excited to see him. Again, it was like a, hi, okay, give me my candy, and then he left. It would have been fun if they could hang out for a while, but I guess there's always that risk that they're going to, like, say more than they should or something like that. There was also supposed to be more guests last night. Julia and Austin from Big Brother 17 were also supposed to be there. So the house guests were, like, waiting around for them. It sounds like they knew that there would be 4 guests, but then, like, they just didn't show up. It was really sad. So I guess, like, something came up. I don't know. I did see that Liz tweeted that, like, Julia was stuck on another set or something. I don't know. What's your excuse, Austin? What's this all about? So anyway, the house guests were playing Never Have I Ever, except for Justin. He was like, no way, I've already played all this. I've already done all this stuff. I already know. So then they were playing around with this spirit board that Big Brother gave them. It was basically like a Ouija board, but it wasn't really doing anything. And again, Justin did not want to get involved. He's not into that stuff. I think they did get him to, like, touch the thing once, and then he was like, no, shouldn't have done that. So eventually, Big Brother plays that creepy-ass saboteur voice that's all like, blah, blah, blah. So it said, house guests, have you been having nightmares about me? So that made everybody perk up for a few minutes, and then it was like Dolesville again. I mean, the party died very quickly. So then later on, Shelby and Alex were having a game chat in the bathroom area, and they're thinking that Danielle is going to use this veto on Scott, or no one at all. So before they were saying, if Scott's up on the block, we're going to get rid of him. But then they're saying if he's not, it's kind of like a good thing because it could be good for them to get rid of Whitney. Their hearts are saying keep Whitney, but their guts are telling them that Scott is better for their game. I don't know, is he though? So then Whitney, they feel like she's bound to flip soon because she really made a statement when she picked Justin for the Power Veto competition instead of one of them. They weren't happy about that. They've also noticed that she's being really distant now. She's like avoiding eye contact. They feel like she's like working on a plan or something. They know something is up. Maybe it's because she knows that you screwed her over and we're going to get rid of her this week. So then last night we also got a Scott monologue, and he also thinks that Danielle will be using the veto on him. And he's like, yeah, I'm starting to trust her the most out of everyone on her side. And he's thinking, you know, if he's coming off the block, that means there's only going to be 2 nominees this week, Shelby and Whitney. And he's going through the pros and cons, and he's thinking it's best for him to keep Shelby over Whitney because he's got that whole thing with Alex and Shelby going. So he's going to get a little surprise at the veto meeting, which was today. So the 3 nominees, Scott, Scott, Shelby, and Whitney all gave their speeches. They're pretty standard, nothing really crazy about them. And then Danielle gets up and she's like, I'm going to use a veto on Whitney. And then she puts up Morgan, and it was like kind of quiet. They were just sitting there like after it was over, and then Whitney like totally breaks the silence, and she's like, I have to tell you guys a story while we're all here. So for a second, like a split second, I was like, oh my god, is she gonna like tell everybody that she knows that they flipped on her and like some crazy shit's going down? But no, she tells this story from the have-not room last night. She thought she was asleep. She heard this strange-ass noise for 7 to 10 seconds, and it was Justin's heinous fart. It was so ridiculous, and apparently Justin was just like, that's terrible. Oh my god, but the way that Whitney's accent and just the way that she speaks, this story was so freaking funny, and it really like broke that tension after the power of veto ceremony. But after that, Morgan like walked away and started like bawling. So yeah, we'll pick it up there tomorrow. Somebody's going home. It's either going to be Morgan, Scott, or Shelby. So let me know in the comments who you guys are voting for to leave. And until tomorrow, much love.